Coming soon to own on
YouTube and Twitch. Things you might not have considered about the zombie apocalypse. Now, there's a ton of things that, like, the zombie apocalypse, a lot of people don't factor in. Like, obviously, you know, running away from zombies, staying away from them. Yeah, that's the easy stuff. But in all actuality, I feel like a lot of people would die in the Walking Dead universe. Yes, I do feel like that. Because once again, I wouldn't say it's the most realistic take on zombie, or if a zombie apocalypse would happen, but I would see people being savage. They see another human being coming around, their first instinct is not to talk to them. Their instinct is, I'm gonna shoot this person dead in their head and take their loot. Whatever they got on them, I'm taking it. And if they're in a group and we're in a group, it's a war. It's a battle. And unironically, I feel like people will have that confidence. Oh, these zombies are weak. They can only walk. So when you go looting in cities, you'll end up finding yourself surrounded by hordes because you'll be overconfident. I feel like that's how a lot of people will get cooked. Me personally. Let's get straight into it though.
Imagine waking up one morning and there's no power in your home. You look outside, but the street lights aren't working either, and none of your neighbors' lights are on. You wait a couple hours, thinking another squirrel must have gnawed its way into one of those power boxes again when you hear a scream coming from outside. You peek out the window just in time to see your neighbor trip and spontaneously turn it into a Krabby Patty meal now being split several ways as a book club's worth of women chow down. Congratulations, you woke up late to the apocalypse. Halloween's coming up, and it's been a while since I birthed a video, so I wanted to talk about a few points that those of you who haven't planned out your zombie apocalypse lifestyle may not have considered. Taking out the trash? Why bother? Nobody's coming to pick it up now that everyone's dead. Have you ever tried composting? Ever dug an emergency toilet? Have you ever used...
I mean, but how hard can it be to, like, dig a toilet though? In all honesty, do I really need a toilet though? Because you're not really supposed to be staying stationary unless you build a castle. You're not really supposed to be stationary in a camp for too long.
a porta potty? Well, I hope you're still enjoying the sights the city has to offer because the smells are about to get much worse.
Oh yeah, it's gonna smell
or
like
if you
shit.
happen to be in an apartment building in the summertime with all those corpses, let's just hope your neighbors left the window open a crack before they join the army of the undead, am I right? Don't even get me started on bathing. Depending on where you are, the amount of
Say goodbye to
access
showers.
that you have to water... Oh, I live in Canada and I don't even want to imagine trying to shower or maintain any sort of hygiene in the dead of winter. Like, even...
But in winter though, this is gonna sound dirty, but in winter, you're less likely to get musty because you sweat less. That's a fact though. That's a fact though. You're least likely to be musty than you are in the summer. So like you don't really have to worry about showering as much in the winter in the zombie apocalypse than you do in the summer or the spring.
if you were to live near a river or a lake, the amount of fuel you would need to heat all that water just to bathe seems pretty tedious. You could take a polar plunge with the risk of hypothermia.
I would say about fires, one thing I noticed, those info one pagers that the people, these like business companies be mailing you, they're flammable and they burn long, so you don't have to always worry about finding wood. You can burn trash, but the smoke might rise up and might make you detect it though.
Yeah. But imagine getting stuck in or on a frozen lake while a zombie or three shuffles around your gear pile. If the choice is between clearing out a bathroom with no windows just to sit upon a porcelain throne in the dark, possibly alongside months-old doo-doo, or go in the bushes with no form of privacy, I think I'd have to start packing up the old tent because I'm not entirely sure I want to find out how many cans of beans my toilet can hold.
Now, as for a shitting situation, I'm shitting in the woods. I'm not digging no holes, no nothing. I'm just shitting on the floor. And we leaving in 2 to 3 days after that. We moving spots anyways. Obviously probably gonna have to wipe my ass with leaves. Don't ask how, but I shit it outside before. It's not hard. Don't ask how. But yeah, that part's already taken care of.
So I feel like this one's a little bit more self-explanatory. Even with libraries in most populated areas, I feel like not being able to rewatch all of Adventure Time would break a piece of my soul. I was at my library the other
Adventure
day
Time
and
really
a
that
freaking
show
moth
though.
hit my eye. Like, I know our library is old, but if it already is a moth problem, I don't even want to think of what state it'd be left in during the apocalypse. Like, imagine some bozo breaking a window or two for infinite kindling, and then the whole library is just open to the elements. Also, I mean, not to brag or anything, but this video you're watching, I drew it.
W. Drawling, she did her thing. But I would say a library is a good spot to hunker down on, though. Depending on where it is in the city, you board up enough windows, you have all those books you can burn. Now, I know a lot of people don't want to burn books, but life or death, and libraries are big. So, all honesty, you really don't have to go outside and really start a fire. You can light it straight in the middle, straight in the middle of the floor. Just light it up. And you got all those bookshelves. The bookshelves are usually made out of wood. Just throw them right in there.
Yeah, I even posted it on YouTube.
Yeah, you
I
rock,
know
man.
there's this running joke about people not being able to eat until they find a good video to watch, but if I had to sit alone with my thoughts, and only my thoughts, for the rest of time, I think I might start looking for the exit, you know what I'm saying?
My thoughts and only my thoughts. I don't know, bro. I feel like I'll be chilling. Obviously, I would not be like. I'll try my best to not be alone. But if I had to, I feel like I'd be straight. I feel like that's just me though.
No survival instincts. Just a furry little guy. Can't even open a can of wet food on her own.
Oh, I thought you were talking about me.
That's
Let's
right. I'm talking about my cat. She literally eats tape. If I were to leave her alone in a
say.
room with a pack of duct tape, the next time I enter that room, duct tape shaped cat. Every time I watch a movie where a cat is in any sort of danger, my heart rate skyrockets. You know that scene from A Quiet Place Day One? I was on the brink of tears. Not because I was sad, but because I was so worried about the cat that I couldn't blink. The only real option is to lock my cat up in a bunker with a door that'll automatically open time cap.
Now, in some versions of like zombies, the zombies actually don't go for animals. What do you think in an actual zombie apocalypse would an animal actually get eaten or turned? I kind of feel like they'll be left alone. I don't know.
Capsule style after a year or two, with an automatic feeder and a petting machine and something to give her enrichment every now and then. For your information, no, I haven't set this up, but when I do, I promise I will post an in-depth tutorial so your pets can also thrive in the zombie apocalypse.
Are we chilling there?
Tiramisu, cheesecake, pumpkin pie, brownies. There is no baking in the apocalypse. Bro, how am I?
Says who? You just gotta get innovative. I know y'all see the Outdoor Boys. You really just gotta get innovative with it. I mean, obviously you gotta be like, make sure you straight first. You can't just try to start baking off the rip. But like after a while, when things start to settle down, you really start focusing in on all of that. You know, I feel like you can really start baking for real.
Supposed to math out my feelings if all I have is a can of beans? I mean, sure, you can take it out on the undead, but I'm an artist. I use art to work things out, and baking is up there on my list of the ways that I do that.
But unironically, you could still do art in the apocalypse. I mean, I wouldn't recommend it because you might get distracted, fuck around, get ambushed. But you can still do art in the apocalypse, though.
On the other hand, having a Tallahassee moment where I attempt to travel the world in order to make every baked good known to mankind might be kind of fun. Like, hunting down recipes in abandoned bookstores and learning various languages just to find out I need root beer extract? Or some other ingredient for a fusion recipe that was only ever imported upon request before the apocalypse?
Oh, Lord.
Maybe I'll leave it to the professionals for this one.
damn, all those monster energies gonna fuck around, have a heart attack before the zombies get you. There's like 50 of them.
So, you survived the initial wave, even survived the collapse of the first few settlements, and lived long enough to create a fortress of your own.
Are we chilling here?
One day,
We're chilling here unless we get raided by another group of people. That's the only way I really see myself going out, is probably getting either falling for like a trap and getting raided, or like just getting overpowered by another group or another like civilization of people.
scouting team returns with ancient delights, including a package of freeze-dried peanut butter. Being a child in the early days of the apocalypse was rough, and thinking back on it, you can't remember eating much besides game meat and the occasional can of beans. So you decide that you'll be the first to try this long-lost delicacy,
Fuck no.
and you're dead. Decades after the start of the apocalypse, there won't be anything like a patch test for allergies, and I shudder to think of some settlement dying off just because their only doctor happened to get stung by the wrong bee. In conclusion, should the apocalypse ever arrive, I will be commandeering a small town office building, preferably one.
But like that peanut butter reason, that's why like if I had to loot like a pharmacy, I'm grabbing everything. I'm not even looking at that medicine. I'm just grabbing like the ones I know, and I'm grabbing all the medicine. Cause like, what if I fuck around, grab the EpiPen? We got it on standby. You eat that peanut butter, we just boom, you back to life. We chilling.
With a nearby library, and establishing a cat bunker somewhere within. Thanks for watching. Bye.
That was things you might not have considered about the zombie apocalypse. Let me know how you feel at the time down below. With that being said, I'll see y'all boys later though.
I'm not trying to score. Your heart's an open door. I got the key. I'm trying to keep composure and some more. I know you want some more. Oh, oh. Can your body hear me? Want you to feel me?